When I was training electricians for Salt Lake Community College, I had a young man come to me one day and say, hey, Paul, what do you know about this Roy Sullivan, the guy in the Guinness Book of World Records that has been struck by lightning 7 times? What do you know about him? Well, sounds like a slow learner to me. There are reasons when the lightning storm comes that the fishermen and the swimmers get off the lake. There's a reason that the water parks shut down when a storm is coming. There's a reason for the advice that we're given not to be washing dishes or taking showers during a thunderstorm. What do these things have in common?
Water.
Water. Well, it's generally known that water is indeed a good conductor of electricity. Well, there ought to be a way to prove that water is a good conductor of electricity. In fact, I'm a master electrician, and the National Electrical Code requires us to put in GFCI protection wherever an electrical circuit may encounter water. It's to prevent you becoming part of the electrical circuit and being electrocuted. It's a bad day when you're shaking hands with Ready Kilowatt. So the code requires us to put in GFCI, ground fault circuit interruption protection, in countertops, in bathrooms, in kitchens, in unfinished basements, garages, and also on outside receptacles. You probably have some of these receptacles in your home or your apartment. They're square receptacles, and they have 2 buttons, a black button and a red button. The black button is used to reset the receptacle if it's tripped. The red button you push to test the receptacle. Well, let's prove that water is a good conductor of electricity. I have with me today a lamp. I have an electrical circuit, and I have broken the electrical circuit, and I've put in 2 probes to complete this electrical circuit, and I've placed them in a mug of water. Let's test to make sure the circuit is functional. I'm going to take 1 probe, I'm going to turn the circuit on, and I'm going to touch 1 probe to the other probe to see if the lamp indeed lights. It does. So we know that the circuit is working. I have both probes in the mug of water now, and I'm going to turn on the circuit and prove that water is a good conductor of electricity. Are you ready? Here we go. Ta-da! Huh? Ta-da! 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 Oh, I hate it when this happens. So I have now proven that if physics doesn't work, try magic.
That's not pixie dust. It's
Huh?
salt.
Oh, well, I guess you caught me. it is really salt. I hope the truth in labeling people don't find out about this. Let's keep this our secret. Well, what happens when I dissolve the salt in the water is the water becomes ionized. The salt, which is sodium chloride, splits into their primary elements of sodium, which is positively charged, and chloride, which is negatively charged, and it makes the water conductive. Pure water is actually a good insulator, and it is distilled water that is in the mug. I'd like to show you a practical application of this principle. I have a steam vaporizer here, and the steam, it's just kind of lackluster. We're not getting much steam out. This is sold by Walgreens. I went to the internet and read the product reviews on this product, and one person said, it just doesn't steam well. The light on the top of it comes on, but no steam. And someone else writes, the appliance is so hot, it drives me right out of the room. It's just too hot, putting out too much steam. Well, the reason for this is the tap water that I put into this particular reservoir has a little bit of minerals that are diluted in the water to ionize it, but not much. Other parts of the country may have a lot of minerals in the tap water, which makes it much more conductive. So if you find you have a lackluster steam coming out of your vaporizer, one trick is to put some baking soda into the reservoir. I have some baking soda with me today. Its technical term is Arm & Hammer. I mean sodium bicarbonate. And it will do the same thing as salt and many other minerals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some sodium bicarbonate into this reservoir and see if it'll steam a bit better for us. There is a movie that was made in the late 70s about a submarine that used this technology. The movie was called Red October, and it used a worm drive where a negative charge was put in front of the ship, a positive charge in the back, and it would open up doors, and the water would come in the front and be propelled out the back. It works with DC electricity. So let's put a couple of spoonfuls of this baking soda in, and I'm going to stir it, and we'll see what the results produce. As you can see, we now have real steam. Putting a little bit of the baking soda into this reservoir made a world of difference. So the principle is assume water is ionized and conductive. Play it safe out there, folks. And you've now learned how to make a steam vaporizer work better in your home.